You made it. Here. Finally. Checked out of office to check into the sweet views of that place you've always wanted to go. You know the one. It's nice. Even the kids like it.
This place is so cool.
And they never like it.
Mom, can we go to the pool?
Look at that. Not even asking for the Wi-Fi. When you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it. Your favorite band's about to play a sold-out show. You got in.
Over here!
With a friend. And found a spot close enough to see the set list. They're definitely playing your song. When you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
There's never been a better time to find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Download the BetMGM app and place a $10 moneyline wager on any NBA playoff game. If either team hits a three-pointer in the game, you'll win $200 in free bets, regardless of your wager's outcome. Just use code LIBERTY200 when you make your first bet. Sign up now and discover BetMGM's daily promotions, boosted odds specials, and more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use code LIBERTY200 to win $200 if either team hits a three in any NBA playoff game. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Hollywood Casino Morgantown.
Hey, it's Christine from Storyworthy. Today on the show, comedian Chris Duffy talks about going on a really bad tour at the Celestial Seasonings tea factory.
There's one factory in the whole world where they make Celestial Seasonings tea. So if you've ever had Sleepy Time Bear, if you've ever had Red Zinger, Lemon Zinger, right? Like this is where the magic happens. And the tour guide, as soon as we start talking, he goes, I think you're going to enjoy this tour. It's going to be tea-rific. And I was like, okay, I already love you. Wordplay is the straightest path to my heart. And he says, and if you turn to your right, you'll see our first attraction. And we turn, and it's a set of mirrors. And he goes, it's your beautiful selves. And I was like, stop it. You are too charming.
Today on the show, comedian Chris Duffy talks about going on a really dreadful tour at the Celestial Seasonings tea factory. Stay close.
Hey, this is Chris Duffy, and you're listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. If you are a new listener, you have 10 years of catching up. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, you guys, it's a great time to go back in the catalog. Check out some of the other stories you may have missed, whether that's from somebody that you love or it's a story topic that you're interested in. Get back and look at the catalog. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show last week with Jill Kimmel. Chris, do you know Jill Kimmel? Mm-hmm. She is such a great comedian. I don't know why I never knew her before. Well, she's in Arizona, so... Yeah. I've only ever really done podcasts in person. So this whole way of podcasting is new for me. So it's opening up a lot of doors.
Yeah, all of a sudden the whole country, the whole world is possible now.
And then ironically, Chris Duffy, you live 100 yards from me.
Oh yeah. We're going to hear an echo because it's actually picking up on both of our microphones.
Okay, this is so funny. You guys, stay put today because Chris Duffy is on the show. And like we're talking about, I just met him and here we live very close together. But check this out. One time I had this guy on the show. His name is Scott Boxenbaum. Okay. Do you know Scott?
I don't know. Great name.
Yeah, it is. He's on my show. We do the whole thing, yada, yada, yada. About 2 months later, I'm pulling out of my driveway and I see him walking out of the apartment across the street with his dog. And I'm like, Scott, and he's like, Christine, and he lives across the street.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I know. Super funny. Anyway, I'm so happy you're here today, Chris.
I'm so happy to be here.
Super fun. Last week, Joe Kimmel was talking about being married and divorced and dating. And have you ever been married, Chris?
I am. I'm currently married. Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
All right.
We
Just
have
curious.
our 4-year anniversary next week.
Wow. And in LA, 4 years, that's like
Yeah, that's dog years elsewhere.
that's like dog years, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you bring forth the topic Celestial Seasonings Tea Tour Gone Wrong. And so I know it's going to be funny because when tours go wrong, they go like often dramatically wrong.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like things get so crazy. And I've been a tour guide. I used to do tours in Hollywood,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
on the buses and all that. Yeah, yeah. And I also gave tours at Paramount Studios. I was like a page.
Cool.
One time, by the way, when I was giving a tour in Hollywood on top of the double-decker bus thing, the microphone was broken. And so the driver gave me like this handheld mic through the window that was like attached, he's at the
Yeah.
steering wheel, and he gives me this microphone and I take it to the top of the bus and I'm trying to do my spiel. We're flying down Wilshire. There's nothing to see but like cars. I call it like car row or whatever because there's
Yeah.
all those really expensive dealerships and all the cars behind the glass. So we're going down there, but the driver's going like 30 miles an hour. I'm trying to give this tour to like 30 people that speak no English whatsoever. And I just have to say Brad Pitt like every 2 or 3 sentences. And then all of a sudden he hits a bump and the microphone, it gets caught under the wheel of the bus and it flies out of my hand.
Oh my gosh.
And the microphone is like tumbling. It's gone. It is gone. And that was the end of the tour.
Wow. Yeah, at that point, it just becomes a sign language tour. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It was super funny, actually. And I knew that I would laugh about it for a long time,
Yeah. It's good when you have that thought in the moment where you're like, this is very bad right now, but it will be funny later on.
Yeah. And then when I gave tours at Paramount, a lot of the other tour guides would take people like through like the silent film history and the first Academy Awards and all this boring stuff. And I knew that that's not what the people on the tour wanted to see,
Yeah.
So I would take them over to like Star Trek Row and show them like Klingons having a break, like smoking,
Oh, incredible. Yeah. Oh, who doesn't
Something
want
like
to see
that.
a Klingon smoking?
Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Like I knew what they wanted.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm really excited about your topic today. I know it's going to be funny. And how exciting a tea tour could be in the first place, I don't know.
Oh, listen, it's a riveting edge of your seat experience.
Hey, so listen, I met you through Madeline Smithberg.
That's right.
Who's been on the show before. And here's the thing with Madeline, you and I both know that Madeline knows talent because of who she's discovered. You know what I mean?
She helped start the Daily Show.
She's the co-creator.
Yeah, she co-created it.
But also, all the names that she's like the talents that she found, right?
Yeah, like Colbert and
Carell.
Carell.
Yeah, all those guys, Mo Rocca. And so when Madeline Smithberg tells me that I should check out Chris Duffy, then
You think she's lost her touch.
no, I was excited, so I started checking you out. The craziest thing is that you live so close to me.
Yeah, it's wild. What a funny, strange coincidence.
I mean, you have so many great shows going on, and you're such a I love all of your stuff because you're so creative and you keep you have like ingenuity. You keep changing and throwing stuff out there and making it happen. And then how did I not know about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm glad that we know about each other now.
Did you know about Storyworthy?
I had heard of Storyworthy. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, that's something. I feel a little better now. Hey, listen, have you, what's been going on for you personally and the, everything going on, the riots, the protesting, all of it?
Yeah. Well, not going to be funny, but it's been an intense time. It's been a very serious time and trying to do my best to stay safe and stay engaged. I actually went to one of the protests yesterday and it was pretty amazing because I feel like I was prepped for it to be very intense and like tear gas and all of that. And instead I got there and it was just this like really community minded, generous thing. People were walking through the crowd, giving out free masks and hand sanitizer and water
Nice.
and snacks. One guy brought a big tray of free In-N-Out burgers that he was giving out to people. And everyone was just there, standing for justice and solidarity and community. And at one point, the whole crowd, thousands of people, all got down on a knee and was silent together. And it was just this really powerful moment of, this is a controlled, orderly protest against injustice. And then you see the fact that there's the military out, and it's like those two things don't line up. So
no, not at all. I'm so glad you went out. Good on you, man. Yeah, I saw the pictures of everybody lying down. That was really beautiful. That was amazing. I've taken my daughter to a couple of the women's marches and stuff, but I can't take her. I just don't know.
Yeah, well, with the pandemic, there's a lot of factors to consider right now. So yeah, there's a lot going on at once. I wouldn't say that life is on like easy mode anymore.
Did you feel the earthquake last night?
I didn't, but as soon as people said that, I was like, yeah, of course there's going to be an earthquake. Or earthquake and a wildfire. Like, that's all we need now. That's the only things that we don't have yet.
Did you see the mudslide in Norway by any chance last night?
I didn't, no.
It's on Twitter, and that's where I saw it. And honestly, like a big chunk of Norway with like 15 houses on it slid into the ocean. And it's like, bring it on, 2020.
Yeah, it really does feel like a giant natural disaster. That's pretty much the only thing that's missing now for the full house of disasters.
Well, here's what's so cool about you, man. Honestly, there always has to be the people that entertain. You know what I mean? There's got to be entertainment. There's got to be something to look at to take our minds off things. And you have created so many cool shows and so many funny shows. And I'm not sure how many are still in production and how many aren't. But I just like some of the names, which I want to read off.
Sure.
You have created and you host shows called Smart People Talking Calmly. Mm-hmm. You're the Expert. Mm-hmm. You Get a Spoon. And the one I watched the other day was called, is called Come On Down. You're Already Here.
Yeah, a socially distanced game show that takes place over Zoom.
I'm thrilled about that. I am so excited about that. It's fabulous.
Yeah, I've been trying to do, like you said, each of us has our own abilities to help out at the moment. And I feel like giving people a little bit of a break and a way to recharge and take your mind off things for a moment so that you can then get back into it afterwards seems like a thing that I can do a little bit. So trying my best.
You really are doing a great job. That one, Come On Down, You're Already Here. You guys can find those links at Chris's website, chrisduffycomedy.com.
Yeah, there's a lot of the thing is there's a lot of Chris Duffys out there. So Chris Duffy works for chrisduffy.com. He works for ESPN. If you Google image search me, there's a few photos of me, but it's mostly semi-nude bodybuilder. There's a lot of Chris Duffys. And if you send an email to me and you forget the middle initial, it goes straight to a very friendly professor in Canada. So, there's a lot of Chris Duffys that are kind of communally holding space together.
I noticed that on your Instagram, it's Chris I. Duffy.
Yep. I tried to get Chris Duffy and the person doesn't even use it. And I messaged them being like, hey, I'm a comedian. It would be helpful. And they were like, no, I'm using it. I'm holding it.
If somebody holds a domain name and they're not using it, there's a reason. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's just this person seems to be like, well, maybe one day I'll start posting. So who knows?
Well, fuck them.
Yeah. No. Hey, in case they're listening, you're a very kind person, and if you want to give it to me for free, I would love that.
Hey, I have a cat, and if she walks by, you'll know that's Sophie. By the way.
Okay, great. Preemptive hello to Sophie.
I will. I found a new company called Pet Flow that I'm really into because I like to stock up on pet food. Like, to me, it's one thing to run out of toilet paper, but like if I can't feed my cat, trouble.
Yeah.
And Pet Flow's core mission is to keep pets all across the country happy and healthy. And I'm super excited that I found these guys, Pet Flow. You know what I ordered, Chris?
No, what did you order from Pet Flow?
I ordered a litter box.
A litter box?
Yeah, it's called the Van Ness Enclosed Cat Litter Pan. Because you know what? After a while, even if you empty the litter box like every week or even every day or whatever, it's going to smell because the litter box itself has been absorbing this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You walk into a cat owner's home, you know you're in a cat owner's home, unless they have a good litter box.
Anyway, I ordered that and I'm really digging it because it's enclosed and she can't kick the litter around and all that. But more than that, PetFlow, you guys, they have hundreds of premium brands of your favorite food, treats, toys, and more for dogs, cats, birds. You know what I'm saying? And you can spend less time worrying about running out of food and more time doing things with your pet, as it were.
Spending quality time.
That's what I'm saying. And here's what I really like about PetFlow. They have a good deeds program, and every box that they ship helps feed a pet in need. So PetFlow basically donates food for every single box they ship to shelters across the country. And also the good deeds program even goes beyond feeding pets in shelters. They've actually been giving pet food directly to food banks and for families during their time of need. So PetFlow, they're doing good things. That's what I'm saying, Chris Duffy.
Yeah. That sounds like it.
They really are. And I love PetFlow, you guys. You guys will too. And if you head over to petflow.com and you use the code STORY16 as the promo code, you'll get 16% off your first order. Tell me what number I just said, Chris.
16, a very specific percent off.
Some people go like, we'll give you 10% or 15% off. Then Storyworthy, I'm right here. And I say, no, 16% off, you guys. So head over to petflow.com. Again, use the promo code STORY16 and you will get 16% off your first order. Petflow.com and use the promo code STORY16. I also got a really cute animal, like a toy for a dog that I have that has a beautiful golden retriever. And so I got Percy, this really cute little giraffe fuzzy toy thing. It's adorable. So that's fun. Yeah.
Story 16.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you one thing, I'm super excited to hear about the Celestial Seasonings Tea Factory tour gone wrong.
Sure.
But before we get to Chris's story, you guys, I did want to remind you to please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Would you do that at Storyworthy? I make it very simple. And like you, Chris, I'm trying to entertain the masses. And every Sunday night now, I have a new show on Zoom called Storyworthy Hour of Power. And it's super fun. This will be our 4th week, heading into our 5th week, actually. And it's me and 4 other storytellers who have been on my show. So now you qualify.
Oh, finally. I got my qualifications in now.
No, but listen, it's 1 hour of tight, funny storytelling. I make it super professional. You see the red curtains behind me.
I see the red curtains. I didn't even know that people could have red curtains in their home.
You don't even know. And I'll tell you what you don't know is it's 2 tablecloths.
Incredible. I'm even more impressed now. You were eating off red curtains.
And it's a fancy dress. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's a dessert topping. It's a floor mop. It's anything.
I mean, you're selling me. You sold me on PetFlow. Now you're selling me on red curtains. I'll buy anything from you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Storyworthy Hour of Power every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's 1 hour of a really good time. And then there's even an after show. You can stick around. We're playing Story Smash. Everything's happening. It's super fun. Head over to storyworthypodcast.com for more information. Thank you. I would appreciate it. All right, you guys, he's here right now. Chris Duffy. He is a television writer and a comedian. And like I said, he's the creator of so many funny shows. And then I'm looking at some of these shows on YouTube, and you're in these auditoriums with 1,000 people.
Yeah, I've performed in some big places, which has been really fun, and some very small, empty places. So a big range between both. Yes, but yes, I performed in some big, cool venues.
Well, what's the biggest?
I performed last year at a sold-out Lincoln Center, which was really cool, with Pop-Up Magazine. So that was probably a career highlight for sure.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did your wife go with you?
She did not go because we live in LA, but she came when we did a show in Oakland that was with even more people at the Paramount Theater in Oakland.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Do you do any adjustments or do you do anything differently when you're in such a big house like that?
Well, I mean, this was with a show that I've done a bunch of stuff with in the past called Pop-Up Magazine. So I was telling a story that I had it was comedy, but I also had interviewed people and played some of the audio from that. But the main difference in a big crowd is you just kind of take bigger pauses because you have to let people hear and react, and then you go again.
Yeah.
It's fun. I actually think it's easier in a bigger room than it is in a smaller room. I think the hardest is when it's like 3 people and you're just basically having a conversation. That to me is the hardest, but also very fun in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But you have to let it, like, I guess, hit the back wall or something. And then,
Oh yeah, you kind of feel the laughter wash over you, and then you're like, and I can go again, which is
wow,
really cool.
that's
But
amazing. One time I, one time I booked, I had an incredible lineup. It was like Kathy Ladman, Kelly Carlin, Wayne Fetterman,
wow.
and me. I know, me and like these 3 huge people. And it was a gig at the Soho House in Malibu. So you think
Oh,
like, oh yeah, super fancy. Oh, this is going to be great. So that's why I could get that kind of talent, because they just, people want to go to the club, check it out or whatever. So we're there in the Soho House, and guess how many people were in the room?
I'm taking the cue that it's going to be low.
Yeah, it has to be low. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me say 15.
Yeah. No, it was like 6.
Oof. Yeah.
Like 6
I've
people
done that.
there.
I've been there before.
And Wayne Fetterman goes, 2 nights ago, I was in Nashville at the what's that theater?
The Ryman, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, 2 nights ago, I was at the Ryman Theater in Nashville, Tennessee, in front of 1,200 people, and here I am back in LA in front of you 6 people.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I've had those moments for sure. I one time did a show at a college that was me and Aparna Nancherla, and she's so funny and great. And the 2 of us went there, and we the room was fully lit. There were 5 students in it, and the sign outside said, giant letters, free pizza, free popcorn, and then in small font, also comedy from Aparna Nancherla and Chris Duffy. And we were like, we weren't even the headliners on the food was the headliner, and we didn't even attract people with that.
That reminds me of a puppet show, Spinal Tap. Remember?
Exactly. Yes, for sure. That was us.
You crack me up. Anyway, like I said before, your new show is called Come On Down. You're already here. And you can find more about that over at his website, chrisduffycomedy.com. And you can also find Chris over on Instagram at Chris I. Duffy. All right, you guys, wherever you are, put your hands together for Chris Duffy.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. What a pleasure it is to be here. So the story that I'm going to tell you, I've always been a really big fan of going on factory tours. I love to see where things are made and, get down on the factory floor and see what's happening. And I have this unique ability somehow to go when there's a disaster happening. Like I went to the Ben & Jerry's factory, and as we were getting the tour, there was a leak in the hose, and Chunky Monkey started pouring out all over the floor, and there was a red siren going as the floor just filled with Chunky Monkey. And the tour guide said, I've been working here for 5 years and I've never seen this happen before. So that's kind of the world that I live in. And right after I got married to my wife, we took a trip that was me, her, and her mom. And it was my first time that I'd really traveled with my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law. We'd obviously met, but I hadn't spent a long time all together. And so it's kind of a higher pressure trip than normal. And we all decided that we were going to go to Boulder, Colorado. And as we were on the plane and we're about to touch down, my mother-in-law says, okay, when we land, there's one thing that we have to do in Boulder, Colorado. And I was thinking okay, what is it that we might have to do in Boulder, Colorado, right? There's incredible outdoors activities. Maybe she's going to say we have to hike, we have to go skiing. Maybe she's going to be marijuana's legal here, we all have to smoke. I'd be like, okay, that's possible. Who knows? And instead, she's like, we have to visit the Celestial Seasonings tea factory. It's one of the top 10 tea tours in America. And first of all, I was like, why is that even a list, right? Other than for alliterative purposes, who is making the list of the top 10 tea tours in America? But we go, and I thought it was going to be bad. And it turns out that it is the most incredible place in the world. There's one factory in the whole world where they make Celestial Seasonings tea. So if you've ever had Sleepy Time Bear, if you've ever had Red Zinger, Lemon Zinger, right? This is where the magic happens, in this one place. And we walk in, and the tour guide is this he's kind of like a young, ski bum type guy. And as soon as we start talking, he goes, I think you're going to enjoy this tour. It's going to be tea-rific. And I was like, okay, I already love you. Wordplay is the straightest path to my heart. And then we're walking along, And he says, and if you turn to your right, you'll see our first attraction. And we turn, and it's a set of mirrors. And he goes, it's your beautiful selves. And I was like, stop it. You are too charming. And so then we get in and we get to the factory floor. And there is not that much to see because it's a working factory. But what there is there are these giant piles of ingredients. So you walk in and there's this giant pile of hibiscus and you inhale, and it's the most incredible smell of hibiscus. And then you walk 2 more steps and the most incredible smell of orange blossoms. And then you keep walking and the most incredible smell of chai tea. And then there's one ingredient in the whole tour. There's one ingredient that is so strong, it's so powerful that they keep it separated from all the other ingredients. And they make a huge deal about this, right? In the gift shop they sell like t-shirts and mugs and swag and magnets for your fridge that say, "Are you ready for the tea room? I survived the tea room." And so we get there, we get to this big metal gate, and the tour guide goes, "Are you ready for the tea room?" And we all go, "We're ready for the tea room." And he hits this red button on the side. And like in Jurassic Park, this big metal gate just starts opening, like dun 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 dun. And when it gets to the top, this wave of mint hits us so strong that it sucks the moisture out of my eyes. And as soon as it gets to us, as soon as it hits us, this little girl in the front just vomits everywhere. Like she did not survive the mint room. She's the first person in the history of the tour where afterwards at the gift shop, they were like, "I'm sorry, we can't sell you the t-shirt. You did not survive the mint room." And we left there, and I will never in my life again look at mint tea the same way. It was the single greatest trip I've ever taken, single greatest tour. Huge fan of Celestial Seasonings now.
Yeah. Wow. That is so funny. So wait a minute. What did you get at the gift shop? Anything?
Oh my, you gotta. As soon as we got there, I got I survived the mint room. I got every swag I have. We got a magnet up on our fridge. I have a t-shirt. I got everything. The mug.
How long did the whole tour take?
It's probably the most memorable 45 minutes of my life, I would say. I mean, you heard almost in real time what the tour was.
Was it just you and your family? Was it just you guys?
No. It was a group tour. Yeah, we didn't spring for the deluxe private tour of the Celestial Seasonings Tea Factory.
Yeah.
This was the group tour with the unhuddled masses.
Okay, a couple of years ago, I was with my family. We had like a reunion or not. I don't know. It was I have a big family. So 20 of us are in this.
Whoa, you have a 20-person family?
Well, I'm the youngest of 6. And then there was grandchildren. It's a whole deal. But
I thought
anyway.
it was like 20 siblings.
No, there's 6. But the point
That's
is it is a lot. So we're in Puddin Bay, Ohio, which is like a little island off of north of Cleveland or whatever. And we're in this house, and there's nothing to do on the island really. But they did have a little tour of like a mine you could take to see what are those crystal rocks, like
like geodes or something?
Yeah, geode, exactly, a geode museum. And so there's like maybe 7 or 8 of us in the group that wanted to do that. And we take the golf cart over to the geode mine, and we get out of the golf carts and we go into the geode mine. There's nobody else there. Yeah. And there's one young girl working there. She's like 12, and she is the only person working there. So she says, it'll be $5 each or $3 each, whatever it was. Yeah. And we pay all the money. We all pay the money. She gives each one of us a red ticket, a red ticket, a red ticket, a red ticket. And then she comes out from behind the counter and she goes over to the beginning of the Geode Museum. Uh-huh. And she's also the tour guide. We didn't know. Okay. And then she says, "Welcome to the Geode Museum." She'd already said that, and here we go. And then she takes each one of our tickets. "Thank you. Ticket, please. Ticket, please. Ticket, please. Ticket, please." And
how else would she know? It's impossible to keep track of who paid if she didn't hand you the tickets and take them back.
She takes all of our tickets again. We're laughing like so hard. And we go down, and it was very cool because it's like, obviously it's under the ground and you're in like this cavern of geodes. It's quite remarkable, but there's nowhere to stand. And anyway, she did her little spiel down there, and then we all walked up, and she opened the door, let us out. "Thank you for coming to the Geode Museum," and that was it.
Incredible. I used to be obsessed with geodes too, and I grew up in a really tiny apartment, like a 700 square foot apartment in New York City, where my brother and I slept in bunk beds until I went to college, and I was obsessed with geodes. And like the number one gift I got when I was like 10 was a rock tumbler. And
Yeah.
but it's a small apartment and it's very loud to
Very
tumble
loud.
rocks. And we
Very
had nowhere
loud.
to go. So I would just be tumbling rocks nonstop in our front coat closet. And the neighbors upstairs and downstairs and next door hated me because I was just like, I gotta get these smooth rocks. It's gotta go all night long, every night until I could get these smooth rocks. Exactly.
Yeah, I dated this guy who had a daughter, and we had to keep her rock tumbler in the garage because it was like absurd. It was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? We could go outside and steal the neighbor's rocks. Tell her that this is what happened. It's all done now. Here are
Yes.
your smooth rocks, and we're done.
It's also like if you designed a machine to be as annoying as possible, you'd be like, I don't know, what if it's like a dryer that's full of rocks? That's like literally what the rock tumbler is. And kids love it.
My daughter has gone through not a geode stage, but like, where she has like the little kit of rocks. And it's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's like a velvet box, and then there's like the quartz, and then there's the whatever, and they're
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
I like those things. I like to put my hands in there. Like, I don't know why, the texture of smooth rocks.
Yeah, a little mini geology kit. I love that.
Has a little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
It's like something you would send away when you're a kid. Like if you got Mallow Cup points. I don't know if you ever
Yes.
had Mallow
It'd be
Cups.
like, I've gotten enough that I can get the little tiny magnifying glass and like a sliver of crystal to look at.
Exactly. And it has like a little velvet bag. That was a big deal.
Oh, velvet bag. That's what you're paying for.
Tell me about you in New York City and then coming here. When was that?
I actually moved pretty recently. I moved in August, but it feels like it's been 25 years based on what this year has been. But yeah, I lived in New York I grew up in New York, and then I was in Boston for many years doing comedy, and then moved back to New York when I started writing for TV, and lived there for 7 years, and then moved out to LA.
I can't believe it. See, now that makes more sense why I don't know you. Seriously. I mean, in
Yeah.
a way, because I know almost, I know the
Comedy's a small world.
pretty much,
Yeah.
after a while, you really get to know everybody, and you just got here. I
Yes.
see.
And also, of the time I've been here, several of those months have not been allowed to leave the house. So that'll do it.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you so much. The neighborhood that is a virtual neighborhood at this moment. But
That's
yes.
right. Now, before the lockdown, have you gone to the Gelson's wine bar?
I had been to the Gelson's, yes. I hadn't actually sat and like had a drink there, but I had seen people sitting and drinking there.
Super fun. It's a great place to meet. It's like common ground in the grocery store,
Uh-huh.
and the lights are bright, and you could see everything going on in the store. And there's 17 beers on tap.
Wow. And a Lyft driver was insistent that was a place where you would see celebrities. They were
Yeah.
like, this is the best place to see celebrities.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, because that's where we're shop. That's weird. Yeah, like I'm.
Yes,
like,
listen, Christine, I understand. I just go, if I want to see a celebrity, I just log into Squadcast. So I don't have to go to Gelson's. That's where I go. I go straight to the Storyworthy podcast or Storyworthy Hour of Power.
Are you telling me you never heard of Squadcast?
Oh, a Squadcast. I was starstruck by Squadcast.
You're lying.
That's
to me.
my
You
Brad
don't
Pitt.
know. Let me tell you something. Often as a creator, I don't know about you, but often what I do is copy other people. And I don't say
yes.
that. I don't say that in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I got turned on to Squadcast. You know why?
I tell me. I have no idea. I'm dying. I'm on the edge of my seat. Who told you about Squadcast?
Because that's what Mark Maron's using.
Wow. Okay.
Because that's what Howard Stern is using.
Wow.
No, seriously. So when I see like these guys, and I think even Joe Rogan, and when I see these guys using that, I think to myself, that may be the way to go.
See, I love that, because that's like, you have like the self-confidence and belief in yourself. If I saw that, I'd be like, Squadcast isn't for me. I got to work my way up to Squadcast. I should start with like Squadcast.
Get out of here. Get out of here. The
I'll
beauty,
work out with like this solo cast, and then I'll work up to a squad.
the beautiful thing about creating now is that everything is at a consumer level. Everybody can make anything they want. I mean, seriously, the story where the Hour of Power, it looks like a television show. It's a television show.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. That's what it is,
Yeah.
So I'm excited to kind of be creating entertainment at this time, as it were.
Yeah, I feel like in a good way, the bar is lower where like anyone can start things and you just start something that's interesting and different and then people latch onto it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I am still doing some comedy, some stand up, like some open mics and stuff. And tonight I'm at Flappers.
Ooh. Whoa. Flappers online. Flappers. I get the Flappers University emails.
7 a day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a lot of emails from Flappers University. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to enroll, but thanks for the information.
I have a master's degree from the.
I was thinking about going into the PhD program there. Defending my dissertation.
You think I'm lying to you? I might start teaching their podcast program.
I believe it. It's a 10-year track position. You got to get in there. Great benefits at Flappers University.
Your soda is always free if the club is open. If the club is open.
Yes.
No, you crack me up, man. So listen, though, do you have parents there in New York City?
I do. Yes, my parents are still in the same place that I grew up.
How are they doing right now?
They're okay. They're very locked in. So they have been inside the house for months at a time, and they're fine. They're doing a little bit of like stir crazy stuff. But my dad actually sent me a photo where, my brother and I had been like, you got to be careful. You got to not go out. And like, it's still going on. Don't make any bad decisions. And so they've been trying to do activities in the house. And my dad is very into like Irish heritage. And he was watching like an Irish musician play. And he got really into the fiddle music they were playing. And my dad was trying to do a jig in the house, which he's not a professional dancer. And he tripped and smashed through a glass coffee table butt first. And so we were like, of course you have to go to the doctor because a jig gone wrong. You could not Irish jig in the house. Are you kidding me right now? He fell through a table. He shattered a glass coffee table through river dancing. And he's fine. He's fine. But they sent me a photo that the floor is just covered in glass. And they were like, this is the Lord of the Dance. That's what happens. Wow, that is really crazy. Also, if you'd ever seen me dance, you would fully understand the genetic relationship between the two of us. It's just a disaster. Man, oh man, that's scary. I've thought about that, in terms of trying to be a little safer. I haven't been safer, but let's just say I've been safer. I've imagined what it would be like if I were safer. Yeah, I've visualized safety and then not done it. Yeah. How about one time my father was doing a crossword puzzle, okay? Uh-huh. And this is he's passed away now, but let's say he was about 80 years old. He's doing a crossword puzzle, and all of a sudden he has a heart attack, but he has a pacemaker defibrillator. So it's he shuts down, but then he comes to. Meanwhile, he falls over and his head he stabs himself in the head with scissors. Oh my God. He had been cutting out crossword puzzles or something, right? From the newspaper. So now he has scissors in his head. Blood is pouring down his face. And what does he do? You got to finish the crossword puzzle. He drives himself to the emergency room. Oh my God. Yeah, he drove himself to the emergency room. Blood pouring down his face. That story of your dad is that's 2020 in a nutshell. It's I had a heart attack and I fell onto a pair of sharp scissors. And then I came to, drove to the hospital. Yes, incredible. Listen, may we all have the strength to drive ourselves to the hospital, right? No with kidding. The scissors out of our head. Wait a minute. I got one more story about my dad just because we're talking about him. Oh, yeah. I got to hear it. So one time he and his wife are having this little get together and there's maybe 8 people and they're having a barbecue and they get locked out onto the deck, right? Okay. So now nobody can get into the house and all 8 people at the dinner party or whatever, the barbecue, are outside. Yeah. The deck is about 12 feet off the ground. Okay. So who should jump off the deck, run around to the front and open the door? Should it be maybe the 25-year-old there or the 35-year-old there? Oh no, it's Jack Blackburn. Jack Blackburn, 78 years old. Jumps off the fucking deck. That's hilarious. And then, of course, what happened? He landed on a pair of scissors. He broke his leg. Oh, right? No. Yes. So now he's crawling to the front door with a broken leg. Yeah. And nobody else is jumping off the deck to chase my 78-year-old father. They let him crawl into the house, unlock the door. Then they call 911 to take my dad to, just I love your dad. I am
Jack Blackburn.
Jack Blackburn. That's my new hero.
He never disappointed. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
But listen,
Incredible.
are your parents in Manhattan? Where are they?
They are. They're in Manhattan. Yeah.
They're in the city.
Yeah. On the Upper West Side.
Do they order food or what? How are they?
They've been cooking like nonstop, but they order groceries.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They order groceries.
Wow. I was just in New York in December. I hadn't been there in like 10 years. And I was just there in December. And it was, we were right up there, walking through the park up there. And I just can't believe how different it must be now, right?
Yeah. I mean, the park had a big mobile hospital in it. It's like a surreal world for sure. Yeah.
And then also like the Macy's on 34th Street got looted.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 nights ago, like completely. Like, I don't know. It's just wild. It's just a wild time going on. And then I keep getting all these alerts on my phone. Have you gotten those alerts?
Oh, every day. It's like a new curfew. And then it'll be like, here's what happens is you get a buzz on your phone and it's like 7 p.m. curfew. And then like 30 minutes later, it's like, Dad's mad, 6 p.m. curfew. You just got yourself another hour of curfew.
You kids didn't clean up the house and you're going to stay in tonight.
Oh, you think this is a joke? Well, guess what? 5 p.m. curfew. Garcetti is not messing around.
All day long. It's curfew flappers, just all day.
Christine, this is your life. You got to stay inside and get onto Flappers University. You got to study up for school. I bet you didn't think this would be your life. You're studying for a test at Flappers University while the governor and the mayor are telling you got to go to sleep at 5 p.m.
That's right. Listen, I think you have encouraged all of us to get out there and go to a factory tour, any kind of tour.
Get out to a factory.
Until I saw Tiger King, I would have said go to the roadside zoos, but no more.
Yeah, I would say probably don't go to a roadside zoo, especially these days. These days, that's not worth risking COVID for. Go to a factory, go to a protest, go to Story Hour, Hour of Power. That's what you want.
That's all you need to do.
Story-worthy Hour of Power. That's what you want.
Right. That's exactly right. And then your show every Saturday afternoon. Come on down. You're already here. It's Saturday, 2:00 Pacific time, correct?
That's right. Yeah, Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. You're already there. You're already on the internet. So just come on down.
Now, I filled out a thing there and I said, I want to be a contestant because you're looking for people with special skills. Is that true?
Well, yeah, we every time I get a bunch of anyone who's in the audience, they can share their talents or they can compete on the game show. But a lot more people sign up that can be on each show. So I pick a few and then I pull them into the game and the rest get to watch and participate in the chat. It's a fun time.
Yeah. Now, the other day, some girl, like her talent was standing on her head.
Yes.
And then I was booing. I don't know if you saw me in the chat room, but I was boo.
I did not see a digital heckling. That's a brutal occurrence.
Because Chris, you got to have me on the show because I could stand on my head. No wall involved. I could stand on my head for at least 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay, great. Well, we'll have a time-lapse video next time.
I would really enjoy that. I'll come on the show. I'll answer your questions. I'll talk on the phone. I'll Skype. I'll answer Flappers mail. I'll listen to curfews.
All of it upside down. Listen, what more could you ask for?
Oh, you make me laugh. Listen, I'm so happy to meet you. Honestly,
I'm so happy to meet you too. This was such a pleasure.
Crazy. And when things get back to normal, I'll meet you down there at the Hyperion Public.
Exactly. I'll be walking right down the street. I'll be at the wine bar having a drink with all the celebrities.
That's it. I'll meet you at the Gelson's and we'll sip and shop where you just drink beer and they do the shopping for you. It's brilliant.
Okay. Well, it was genuinely it was such a pleasure to get to talk to you. This was so fun. And I love your show. I'm a fan. I love that I got to meet a celebrity. So this is incredible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You guys, again, find more about Chris Duffy over at his website, chrisduffycomedy.com. And then find out what's going on with the Storyworthy Hour of Power at storyworthypodcast.com. That would be great. I hope to see you Sunday night. There's always a free option on my show because I'm a giver.
It's a generous act of kindness.
That's
Why
right.
would you not take her up on it? You don't have to. In this economy, you have to take her up on it.
That's exactly right. And I'm giving free tours of my courtyard starting every Friday after.
Please, I'll be there. And it will mean that her house is probably going to burn down because it's going to be a disaster when I go on the tour.
All right, you guys, one more time on behalf of the very talented Chris Duffy, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And also thank you to the sponsors on the show today. Really, you guys, remember, when you support my sponsors like PetFlow, then you are supporting me and my child. Yay! All right, you guys, one more time on behalf of Chris Duffy, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Bye.
My name is Christine Blackburn, saying make it a story-worthy week.
Follow me, follow me. I'll take you down to the river. Follow me, I'll keep you silent.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy Podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.
I'll keep you silent.
You made it. Here, finally. Checked out of office to check into the sweet views of that place you've always wanted to go. You know the one. It's nice. Even the kids like it.
This place is so cool.
And they never like it.
Mom, can we go to the pool?
Look at that. Not even asking for the Wi-Fi. When you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
That new doctor is drop dead gorgeous.
Please, he's just another RV League educated surgeon with good hair.
No, he's different.
Nurses, we got a Class C motorhome with a detached driver's side mirror. Meet me in the OR. Stat.
Right away, doctor.
No, she's on break. I'll handle this one.
Oh, you conniving little...
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.